Have you ever wondered how a promise made thousands of years ago could ignite one of the most contentious conflicts of our time? Let's rewind to the time of Abraham. Our story begins in the book of Genesis, where God makes a profound promise to Abraham. This promise, known as the Abrahamic Covenant, holds the key to understanding the root cause of the Israel-Palestine conflict. God promised Abraham the land of Canaan, a region that encompasses modern-day Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, and parts of Jordan, Syria, and Egypt. This land, flowing with milk and honey, was to be the inheritance of Abraham's descendants. However, the catch lies in the lineage. Abraham had two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Isaac is traditionally regarded as the father of the Israelites, while Ishmael is often associated with the Arab nations. As per the Abrahamic covenant, both Isaac and Ishmael were entitled to the land of Canaan. This dual promise, intended as a divine blessing, has turned into a double-edged sword, becoming a root cause of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Over the centuries, the descendants of Isaac and Ishmael have interpreted this promise differently. The Israelites, tracing their lineage back to Isaac, believe that they are the rightful heirs of the land of Canaan. On the other hand, the Palestinians, who associate themselves with Ishmael, also lay claim to the same land. This divergence in interpretation has led to conflicting claims and a seemingly interminable dispute over the rightful ownership of the land. This biblical narrative has played a significant role in shaping the identity and beliefs of both Israelis and Palestinians. It has instilled in them a sense of divine entitlement to the land, which continues to fuel the ongoing conflict. The promise made to Abraham, while intended as a blessing, has ironically become a genesis of dispute. Thus, the seeds of contention were sown, with both Israelis and Palestinians claiming the legitimate inheritance of the land. This is not the end of the story, however. As we'll see in our upcoming scenes, this initial disagreement is just the beginning of a complex and multifaceted conflict. Fast forward to the Exodus, an event that cements the Israelite claim to Canaan and lays the foundation of their identity. The Exodus from Egypt, as told in the books of Exodus, Numbers, and Joshua, is a paramount event in biblical history. It's the tale of the Israelites' liberation from slavery, their wilderness journey, and their eventual conquest of Canaan. This narrative is more than a mere history lesson. It's an integral part of the cultural and spiritual identity of the Israelites. The Exodus is often viewed as a defining moment of triumph and deliverance, further solidifying the Israelites' connection to the land promised to their ancestor Abraham. Under the leadership of Moses, the Israelites are said to have been led out of Egypt, crossing the Red Sea in a miraculous escape. This journey through the wilderness, though fraught with challenges, was a transformative experience that forged the Israelites into a unified people. The narrative continues with the conquest of Canaan under Joshua's leadership. The Israelites, now free from Egyptian bondage, take possession of the land, fulfilling God's promise. This conquest is seen as the actualization of the divine covenant, reinforcing the Israelites' claim to the land. But the story doesn't end there. The impact of these events is still felt today as they form the bedrock of the Israelite identity. The Exodus narrative and the conquest of Canaan are viewed as historical validation of the Israelites' right to the land. This perspective, however, is a significant point of contention in the Israel-Palestine conflict, as the Palestinians also lay claim to the same land, citing their ancestral ties. The Exodus narrative fortified the Israelite claim to the land, adding fuel to the fire of the ongoing dispute. As we delve deeper into the biblical origins of this conflict, we will uncover further layers of complexity and divergent interpretations, shedding light on the enduring tensions in the region. The establishment of the kingdoms of Israel and Judah marked a significant shift, creating distinct identities that continue to influence the conflict today. After the conquest of Canaan, the Israelites found themselves ruling over a vast expanse of land. This vast territory was eventually divided into two separate kingdoms, each with its own lineage and territorial boundaries. The Kingdom of Israel, also known as the Northern Kingdom, was home to 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel. It was a powerful and prosperous kingdom, known for its rich agricultural lands and bustling trade routes. The kingdom of Judah, on the other hand, encompassed the remaining two tribes. It was smaller in size but held significant religious importance as it was the location of the holy city of Jerusalem. These two kingdoms, chronicled in the books of Kings and Chronicles, had their own distinct lineages and territories. The northern kingdom was ruled by a succession of kings from different tribes, while the southern kingdom of Judah was ruled by the descendants of David, solidifying the Davidic line's claim to the throne. However, the division of these kingdoms was not without its problems. Conflicts arose between the two kingdoms as well as with neighboring peoples. The Israelites found themselves in a constant state of warfare with the Philistines, Moabites, and Ammonites. These conflicts often centered around territorial disputes, further complicating the issue of land ownership in the region. As time passed, these distinct kingdoms began to develop their own unique identities. The northern kingdom became associated with the 10 tribes of Israel, while the southern kingdom became synonymous with the tribe of Judah. Over time, these identities evolved and solidified, eventually forming the basis for the Jewish and Palestinian identities that we see today. The division of these kingdoms set the stage for enduring conflicts and the formation of distinct identities that we see today. As we delve into the next chapter of this intricate story, we'll explore how the forced exile of the Israelites and their subsequent return further complicated this already tangled web of historical, political, and religious ties. The Babylonian exile and subsequent return under Persian rule brought about a mixed response, sowing seeds of enduring animosity. As we turn the pages of history, we find ourselves in the midst of one of the most tumultuous periods in biblical times, the Babylonian exile. As chronicled in the books of Jeremiah and Ezekiel, the Israelites faced the brutal destruction of their beloved city, Jerusalem, and were forcibly carried away into Babylonian captivity. This was a time of profound despair and upheaval, a period marked by shattered dreams and broken spirits. The Israelites, who once thrived in their promised land, were now strangers in a foreign land, longing for the days of freedom and prosperity. The loss of their homeland was not just a physical displacement, but a deep psychological wound that left an indelible mark on their collective memory. Yet amidst the ashes of despair, a glimmer of hope emerged. The books of Ezra and Nehemiah narrate the return of the exiles under Persian rule, a period that should have been a time of joy and renewal. However, the reality was far from this ideal. The return was met with a mixed response. While some celebrated the homecoming, others harbored deep resentment towards the returning exiles. Those who remained in the land during the exile, often the poorer and less influential, had managed to eke out a living amidst the ruins. They had rebuilt their lives from the ashes, only to find their efforts overshadowed by the returning exiles. This created a rift, a divide that further complicated the already complex matrix of the Israel-Palestine conflict. The Babylonian exile and return left a legacy of shattered hopes and lingering resentment, contributing to the complexities of the present-day conflict. The scars of this period run deep, influencing the beliefs, attitudes, and narratives that continue to fuel the Israel-Palestine conflict. As we seek to understand this enduring conflict, we must acknowledge these hidden layers of history, for they hold the key to unlocking a path towards empathy, dialogue, and perhaps reconciliation. Understanding the biblical origins of the Israel-Palestine conflict is key to comprehending the deeply rooted beliefs and perspectives of both sides. This conflict, as we've explored, is not just a modern-day political dispute, but a complex legacy that dates back to the times of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. The Abrahamic covenant, as chronicled in the book of Genesis, is the genesis of this dispute. God's promise of the land of Canaan to Abraham's descendants has been interpreted differently by Israelis and Palestinians, both of whom claim rightful inheritance. The exodus from Egypt and the conquest of Canaan further solidify these claims, forming the foundation of the Israelite identity. Fast forward to the establishment of the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, and we see a divided legacy that has further fueled this conflict. These kingdoms, each with its distinct lineage and territorial boundaries, have given birth to the distinct identities we now recognize as Jewish and Palestinian cultures. The Babylonian exile and subsequent return under Persian rule have also left an indelible mark on this enduring conflict. The destruction of Jerusalem and forced exile of many Israelites, followed by their return, stirred a mix of joy and resentment that continues to echo in the region's politics today. In navigating this complex legacy, it's crucial to understand that these biblical narratives serve as the bedrock of deeply held beliefs and perspectives. They provide context to the enduring conflict and underline the importance of fostering empathy and dialogue in the journey towards reconciliation. However, it's equally important to recognize that the Bible is only one aspect of this intricate tapestry. Addressing the complexities of the Israel-Palestine conflict requires a multifaceted approach that encompasses historical, political, and religious perspectives, as well as a commitment to dialogue and reconciliation. While the Bible provides a foundation for beliefs, navigating this complex legacy requires a broad understanding and a commitment to dialogue and reconciliation. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.